Hello students, today we will see our part 2nd of the chapter tissue of class 9. In our previous class we had discussed about the tissue, plant tissue, animal tissue, meristematic tissue. Today we will see the permanent tissues of plant. So let's see. Permanent tissue. How they form? Meristematic tissues, as they have the capacity to divide continuously, they undergo division as well as differentiation, so that the tissues will form which is specific to their shape, size and function. These comes under the permanent tissue. So what happens actually? It is our meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue, it will undergo division, so that number of cell will increase. Along with this, it will go under the differentiation. Due to the differentiation, the cell become specific for their specific function, and it will have this shape, particular shape, size and specific function, and it will gradually lose the capacity to divide and comes under the category of permanent tissue. As I have told, this shape, size and function, it is specific to the specific function. On the basis of that differentiation, the permanent tissues are of two types. The first one, it is simple permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue. And the second one, it is complex permanent tissue. Permanent tissue. As meristematic cells have the capacity to divide, and after differentiation permanent tissues form, so generally permanent tissues lose the ability of cell division. Not all, I am saying generally it loses. Generally it loses the capacity to divide. Okay, then simple permanent tissue. These are the tissues having group of cell which is similar type. So these have the similar type of cells. Means all the cells of similar type. But as it is complex, then what expect it is complex? Here the all cells are group which are of similar type, but here the groups are again, in case of complex, there are the formation of groups having different types of cell. So we can say that they are having many different types of cells, and in this the similar will form one group, the second one will form the second group, and in this way then the whole group will form the complex permanent tissue. So let's proceed with the simple permanent tissue. This, let me start it from the beginning. The simple permanent tissue. The simple permanent tissue is of three types. Write it here, simple permanent tissue. It is of three types. First, it is parenchyma. Then second, it is collenchyma. And the third, it is sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma. So, Parenchyma. This word was given by C. Najlai. Parent and chyma. There are two words. Parent comes from the word para, which means parallel, and chyma means the chain. Okay. These parent chyma cells, as it is just formed after it is having a very less extent of differentiation, and it is just formed after the division of meristematic cell. So there are some special characteristic of parenchyma cells. First, it is living cell. Living cell. Then it has the thin cell wall. Okay, they are loosely arranged cells. Loosely arranged. It means if it is of this shape, they have the large intercellular space, means that space between the two cells or more cells are known as the intercellular space. Intercellular space. This space is very much prominent here. So, okay, then these cells can be of spherical, oval, cylindrical, means they are of polymorphic, but all the cells are isodiametric. Okay, all the cells are living. They have many functions. They perform many functions like storage, secretion, respiration, photosynthesis, and provide. Sometimes they also provide the strength, and they provide the buoyancy to the plant. So let's see, on the basis of these parenchyma, they specified themselves, and on the basis of this specification, the parenchyma again divides in many types. So let's see what are these. So parenchyma, these are of, first it is placentichyma. These are the arrangement of parenchyma cell in plate-like formation. So platen means the plate. So they are arranged in a plated manner, plate-like arrangement. Okay. What they do? They provide support or strength to the plant. Then second, it is prosenchyma. Prosenchyma cell. This prosenchyma cell, it is of and they also provide support to the cell. So they are also supportive, and they are present around the pericycle of plant, or pericycle and vascular bundle, around vascular bundle. You will see the pericycle in our later classes. Then a very important is chlorenchyma. Don't confuse this word with collenchyma, because chlorens mean the parenchyma, those parenchyma which is having chlorophyll in it. So the parenchyma store or contain chlorophyll. So due to the presence of chlorophyll, they perform the function of photosynthesis. Okay, so we can see how they are performing photosynthesis. Then the next one, it is placentichyma, prosenchyma, chlorenchyma, and very important, it is arenchyma. Arenchyma. What they do? Arenchyma are those parenchymatous cell or tissues which store air in it. Due to the presence of this air in the cell, in the tissue, what happened, their relative density reduces and it provides the buoyancy to the plant which are aquatic, like Eichhornia, Hydrilla. So they provide the buoyancy to the plant so that they can respire in air and they can float on the water. So this is all about the parenchyma having air cavities, and due to this it provides the buoyancy to the plant, aquatic plant actually, to the plant. Then next it is your idioblast. Idioblasts are those parenchyma which stores oil, crystals, important one, then some fat globules, that's all. Okay. So these are known as are the ergastric materials stored in the idioblast. And the last it is mucilaginous parenchyma. Mucilaginous parenchyma, which store mucilase in it. So it was about the specification of a specialization of parenchyma on the basis that they are categorized into lactenchyma, prosenchyma, chlorenchyma, erenchyma, idioblast, and mucilaginous. Okay, it was all about the parenchyma. Then let's see the concept of collenchyma. Collenchyma, the term colla means the globe. The collenchyma is, and the chyma means the chain, and the colla means the globe. This word was given by Schleiden, as he was also the one of the founder of cell theory, and he was a botanist and he created this term. Collenchyma, these are also the living cell. One more thing I just forget to tell you, that the parenchyma, it is the most abundant simple permanent tissue. Parenchyma was the most abundant simple permanent tissue. Then the collenchyma. Collenchyma, it is a living cell, and a very special characteristic of collenchyma is as it is a supportive tissue. So you will find it at all those areas where bending without breaking occur in plant. For example, the plant bend due to the, you have seen that movement of plants, but the part of plant doesn't break. Why? Because there is at that joints or at that region from where it bends, there is presence of collenchyma which hold them, which provide it that strength that it will not break. For example, at the base of leaf stalk, like petioles, you will find it in all those sides, and they are present beneath or just under the epidermis layer of the plant. Okay, it is very important. Beneath the epidermis of dicot plant. Dicot and monocot, they are two types of plant on the basis of their seed. So I will discuss it later. So here just focus on that. They they provide the bending. This is very important, but bending without breaking, it is, you can say, the main characteristic of this collenchyma. Okay. One more and very important thing is that what is the special characteristic of collenchyma? Suppose it is pure, it can be of many types, or the spherical, oval, cylindrical, whatever. But the important thing is that in the collenchyma, there is a thickening of cell wall which is irregular. Why it is irregular? Irregular thickening of cell wall because of the deposition of cellulose, hemicellulose and pectin at the corners of the cell. It is very important. Means what I want to say, irregular thickening of cell wall due to deposition of cellulose, hemicellulose, and a very important is pectin. Due to this, at the corner of the cell. Okay. It is very most important thing about. There are two important things about the collenchyma. Then the intercellular space, as we will move toward the supportive cell, the you will say that liveliness of the cell will reduce and the intercellular space between these cells will reduce. So they are, in comparison to the parenchyma cell, they are comparatively compact. So small intercellular space between, or very little intercellular space in the collenchyma. So it was about the collenchyma. Now let's see the important thing of sclerenchyma. The term sclera means the heart. Again, it is your sclera means the heart. So it is very important to say that these cells are mainly meant for support and strength to the plant. Support and strength. They are dead cells. Sometimes they possesses few or numerous, depends upon the plant and its function, sclerenchyma function, pits. And the cell wall is highly thick. Their protoplasmic material obviously absent there because they are the dead cells. They are, or the cell wall thickened, or the whole cell material is also thickened due to the presence of, it is very important, presence of lignin deposition. Lignin deposition. Okay. Then on the basis of their structure, development and origin, these, just let me tell you, structure, development and origin. These sclerenchyma cells are of two types. It can be fiber or it can be sclerites. Okay. Fibers, they are usually the spindle shaped. Means tapering at these two ends. Clear? It is about the sclerites. It is about the fibers of the. Then sclerites, they. So you can see the fibers are tapering at the end, spindle type their cells are, and they are especially meant for, both are meant for support, And here it is your sclerites. These can be oval shape or cylindrical shape or spherical shape, any shape you can get here. And the whole, I can distinguish the fiber and sclerite where they find, but here we will see the whole sclerenchyma. We will find the sclerenchyma wherever the hard are or the major support and strength required. So, and the things which are very hard, for example, the seed coat of nuts. You have seen, for example, that almond, that upper seed cover. Then the pulp of some fruits like guava, their pulp is also made up of sclerenchyma. And all the stem portion, which is very hard in trees, it is made up of the sclerenchyma because it is very hard and provides support to the whole plant. So, and the husk of coconut, it is very important, used to be asked in question in competition. Usually it is asked that husk of coconut having the sclerenchymatous tissue. So let's enlist them. In case of the fruit ball or seed coat of nuts, okay, then your pulp of guava, very important. Sapota is also then supported is a plant food. Then one more very important, it is guava, sapota, pear. Their pulp is made up of that one. Leaf of tea, husk of coconut, and a very important around vascular bundle. You will also find around vascular. These are important, which usually are frequently asked in competitions, so I am enlisting all these. So around vascular bundle you will find, and a very important one also, this is very important, husk of coconut, and then fruit of this, and one very important, leaf vein. Suppose it is your leaf, this the midline is known as leaf veins. Okay, this leaf vein is also made up of sclerenchyma cells. Okay. This is sclerenchyma tissue as it is just so they have or they don't have the intercellular space. So intercellular space, I should mention here, intercellular space absent in sclerenchyma. It was all about the simple permanent tissue. About complex permanent tissue we will discuss in our next part, which will be part 3. So till now, I hope it will help you to understand and to build the concept of tissue. Thank you very much.